Hello, Ederson Oliveira here for the DNN store. Today I have with me Jason Lichon. Jason is a founding partner at PackFlash and BlueBolt Solutions. They are the creators of PackFlash Constellation of modules. In particular PackFlash News, because I'm a big fan of PackFlash News. I use it on DNN Hero. I have quite a few clients using PackFlash News as well. So again, I'm a big fan of their modules. And yeah, Jason, welcome.
Thank you.
Perfect. So let's get started with where are you based and who is part of the BlueBolt team?
Excellent. Yeah, we are based in Chicago in the U.S. and we've got a team of around 20 folks here in our office. My business partners are David Reisner and Chris Reisner. Chris is actually is now based out of Denver, and we're in the process of opening an office there. So soon enough, we'll actually have offices in 2 locations. Other important members of our team, in particular, Scott Wilkinson is very well known in the DNN community and is currently a DNN MVP, and he appears on your site. So I think that's a good overview of the team.
Perfect. Yes, Scott is my what I usually call him my partner in crime. So
yes.
So let me ask you this. So what's your role exactly in the organization? I mean, what are you responsible for?
Now that's a good question, Anderson. So as a business owner, I wear a lot of hats. These days, I find myself spending most of my time working on sales initiatives as a sales engineer in large part. A lot of times I will go deeper into the projects and continue working through business requirements, acting as a business analyst or perhaps a user experience person. I do have a development background, and so that allows me to kind of dive deeply into technical questions with clients. And I have through the years played a role as a I'm not really a technical architect of our PackFlash software, but more of a user experience architect of our PackFlash software. The exception that being that I actually did design and develop our menu product.
Got it. Okay. So you are a product guy.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a decent way of putting it.
Got it. Okay. So again, by doing some research on yourself, your organization, I saw that you guys are a golden partner of DNN. One of the few, actually. I've had a look, and DNN doesn't even have 10 golden partners. So what does that mean for you as an organization, or for someone that is looking to do some work on DNN?
Sure, good question. We've been in the DNN Partner Program since its inception. I think it's going on 5 years now, and we've been a DNN Gold Partner for most of that time. So gold status basically means that you've got a partner that has been successful in selling DNN licenses and working through DNN implementations. So it means that we've got a lot of experience, and that we're not only past experience, but we are currently working on a lot of DNN projects. And someone coming to a DNN Gold Partner can trust that they've reached a group that actually has a lot of expertise in DNN and a good background in DNN. So I think what we like to say is we're selling confidence, and I think that our gold status helps to provide confidence that you've got the right group if you're actually doing a DNN implementation.
Good. Okay, that explains a lot. Let's dive a little bit into the product side of your organization. So I see a few different initiatives from you guys, and I'd like to start with the one that I'm most familiar with and that you have a long history there, which is the PackFlash set of modules, the PackFlash Constellation, as I see named there. So can you tell us a bit about that set of modules, and what is the purpose, and what is the target audience of that set there?
Yeah, sure. So PackFlash started, I think it's about 7 years ago now. DNN, or our PackFlash News modules, was our very first module that we offered. And then we gradually supplemented that with with our menu module, video module, and the rest there. We've always sort of positioned them as a premium product. The price point's a little bit higher than your traditional DNN module. And our goal that we established fairly early on was that we wanted to build a suite of modules that worked well together. As we used our modules on client implementations, we were constantly finding that we needed them to be interrelated, and we figured if we had that need, that other folks out in the world would have the same need. Just as an example, I've mentioned news in our menu module. Our menu module has the capability of displaying categories from our news module. So we've come across use cases where folks wanted to have a menu where users could actually browse categorization, and as opposed to DNN pages. So we made that possible. And that's just one example of many where our modules are designed to work together. So typically we sell the modules as a suite, and we find that that's where the greatest value comes. And also fairly typically, because it actually be somewhat complex to get all this integration working across the modules, we often find that folks will need a little bit of consultative help. It doesn't mean that we've taken over, we're doing the whole project, but just that we're providing some level of expertise in terms of the best use of the modules and the best use of how to approach a project generally with their content, both with DNN and our modules.
Got it. Okay, so I assume based on what you're saying that you guys are in your team are actively working on that on PackFlash as well. Is that correct? I mean, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it remains an active part of our product set, and there's a couple sort of thoughts there, I guess. Number one, we're making sure that it stays compatible with newer versions of DNN, which has become trickier in the past couple of years as DNN has become more aggressive about enhancing the platform. They've introduced more breaking changes that we found for years the DNN platform was remained very backwards compatible with previous versions, and we had very little to worry about as new versions of DNN were introduced. That's changed in the past couple of years, and I think that's great on DNN's part. They've realized that in order for them to make the platform have it continue to be relevant to new users and new customers, they've had to be more aggressive in terms of introducing new feature sets and changing the way some of the core features from the past have worked. So we understand where they're coming from, and we're on board with that. But it does have the effect of meaning that we're having to tinker with our modules to make sure that they continue to work. So that's I think mission number one, is making sure that our modules continue to work for past clients and for any new clients. And then the other thing that drives new features, additions to our modules are our clients, or whether they're coming from our consulting side of the business or folks that have just bought our modules. They're constantly coming up with new features that they would want to add.
So as I have mentioned before, I see that you guys have many different initiatives, starting from PackFlash, and more recently, which I don't know how old that is, but I see Bravo Search as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. So, we launched the Bravo brand to be distinct from PackFlash for a couple of reasons. Number one is that our Bravo products, while currently they're optimized for DNN and our implementations of Bravo are all for DNN, they are constructed in a way where we could hook them up to any CMS system, and we do actually have plans in the works of some clients to do so. The other distinction with the Bravo products is that they are enterprise grade and designed for more complex needs and implementations, and as such the price point is even higher. So that's why we created the Bravo brand to be a little bit distinct from PackFlash, because we didn't want any confusion regarding PackFlash is definitely DNN centric, It's definitely selling shrink wrap modules that you can buy, download, and install on your own and start using. And the Bravo products are simply not that way. Currently, we have only one product really for sale on the Bravo side. We have a couple others in development, but the one that we've got ready to go is our search solution. And this does consist of a DNN module, so there is a DNN installable. However, it won't do much good unless you've got our the search indexing system and everything else in place. So it's a fairly complex implementation, and I think I'm probably diving into the details a little bit there, but at the highest level, Bravo is about providing enterprise-level solutions, and all of these have an entry point into DNN today, but the plan is that we'd actually be able to go outside of DNN in the future.
Okay, so you briefly mentioned there the price point, which, again, I mean, we are talking about, as far as I saw on the DNN store, about $9,000. So, again, a very unique and distinct type of offering as compared to anything else that is there. So again, you guys are going beyond and above the regular run-of-the-mill module that you can see on the DNN store. So let me ask about the target audience. Who's the audience of such a solution like Bravo Search?
Excellent. Yeah. So what we've targeted is basically folks that are thinking about things like the Google search appliance, or perhaps various other enterprise search solutions such as Endeca, and there's a host of others, so I'm not going to try and name all of them. But the idea being these are higher level products that have price tags that are matching ours or actually much greater. And there's an expectation with any of these that there's actually a fairly large consulting effort. For any of these are like custom tailored to fit software. So you're not just going to install this and tinker on your own to get it going. You actually need a deep level of expertise to understand how a search can be set up, how content is indexed, how relevancy can be tweaked, and on and on and on. And so that's why it's a little distinct from your run-of-the-mill DNN module, is that we're not expecting a business user to download a package of software and get it going.
Got it. So I just want to dive a little bit deeper on that point, because again, as you're saying, it seems to be a little bit more of a complex solution. So if you can pinpoint which problem are you solving? I understand that it's search. It's obvious by the name, but which problem exactly are you solving with that solution?
Excellent. So a couple of I'm going to talk in terms of features, I guess, but so one problem is that your search solution on DNN is perhaps not performant, and that can have actually two different flavors. Number one is the actual search, you type in a keyword and it's a little slow returning results. So that's one flavor of that. The other flavor is that DNN, the search engine actually has to index all the content on your site. All search engines work this way for the most part. It is not uncommon that during that indexing process, your site's speed generally slows down. So folks that aren't even performing searches could see performance issues as a result of this indexer running. So the search solution that we're bringing through Bravo actually runs out of process. You can run it on the same web server if you want, or you can actually run it on a completely different web server. In fact, you can run it on a Windows server or a Linux server if you want. So we're actually outboarding all of the processing, both for the indexing operations and for the actual search querying that goes on. So one issue that one problem we're solving is performance. Another problem that we're solving is the desire for folks to have content that's brought into the search results that may reside outside of the website. So I'll be showing a demonstration a little bit later where we're bringing in content results that are from a third-party journal application. So it's a completely different website, and we're able to, we're getting an extract of that content and then indexing it and bringing it into the same search results. And by the same token, we're able to bring in search results across a variety of different DNN portals as well. So we can sort of index any kind of content and bring it into the search results. Another problem that we're solving, and I'll probably end it at this one, is that we have complete control over the relevancy rankings. And so this is a complex discussion point. So what we're finding with our clients is they can't even necessarily tell us, they can't sit down and say, this is exactly how I want things to work. It's a matter of we implement a solution with a base understanding of how their content is set up and how different search terms should produce different kinds of results. And then we sit with them and fine-tune it. So for instance, if you're doing a search for a different keyword, if that keyword's found in the title, is that the most important thing? What if it's found in a categorization for that piece of content? Is that relevant at all? What if it's found in the author's bio? What if it's found in the text? What if it's found in a heading within the text? We can use all of those different attributes and situations to weigh the relevancy rankings of that content, including what kind of content. So video is more important than textual content. All of those can be managed, and we can fine-tune the search to work exactly as you need. And the last thing, I know it's the other thing was last, but one more problem we're solving is if you want a very specific look and feel. We can tailor the results page to look exactly as you need and to emphasize maybe imagery over text display, to have a certain number of filtering capabilities, to have different tabbing capabilities, and I'll show that in the demonstration.
Perfect. Actually, I mean, it will not be later to be just now. So again, I'm gonna open the presentation to your view, so you can do the client showcase / demo of the product.
All right, so I'm on a client of ours called the American Society for Surgery of the Hand. This is an association of hand surgeons, and we've been working with them for about 3 different years now on a variety of projects. We've implemented about 6 different DNN portals for them, everything from their main site to a site dedicated to the general public, a educational site for their hand surgeons, a site for a textbook that they produce, and a couple of other initiatives. From the beginning, when they were talking with us, they emphasized that search was critical to the success of their initiatives. They have a lot of content, and they have a wide variety of different kinds of content. So by which I mean they've got around 10,000 different distinct pieces of content that they've produced, and that content falls into different buckets. There's obviously lots of documents, textual content, and that textual content is PDF documents, but it's also web pages, and I think there's a few Word documents in there for good measure as well. But they're also producing lots of videos, and they have a lot of imagery content as well. They have events, they have this journal content that's off on this third party, as I mentioned earlier. So their dream was to have all of this content searchable through a single interface. So I'm on their homepage here. They've got a search box fairly prominent, upper right-hand corner, fairly typical. When I click into the search box, the very first thing it sort of does is it shows me that I can actually choose to search among different domains, if you will. So textbook, handcare.org is their public site, and on and on. And at the bottom here is the Journal for Hand Surgery. So for now, I'm just going to do a search for wrist, and I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to essentially search across all of those different properties. Okay, so here's my results page, and so if I scroll down here, you can see that on the left we have a variety of filtering options. The filter by source is essentially back to that concept of which domain do you want to search, or which portal do you want to search. But beyond that, there's format. These are taxonomy terms that apply to them specifically. So this is, again, custom tailored to their needs. So they determine that they've got a certain number of formats that they want folks to be able to filter by. Purpose is another taxonomy term that they use. Authorship is fairly typical in there, filter by year, so filter by date, etc. So there are filtering options, and if I just were to grab one, you can see it's it's not a postback. It's very performant, very quick, and I'll unfilter that for now. You've got sorting options over here, so relevancy, obviously, time span, or oldest to newest versus newest to oldest, and authorship are all different sorting options. And then we have tabs here. So this is similar to the Google approach of saying, here's your text results, here's your videos, here's your imagery, and so on. So if I click over to videos, I go from that sort of vertical listing to more of a grid view. And you'll see here, these are fairly, they could have chosen to have different views in terms of showing more of the video content. They chose to kind of go with a more, just showing the title here. You'll see that these all have locks, and as I hover over it, I'm getting the don't symbol. So these are all locked down. I'm not logged in right now, so I can't actually view the content. I get to see that it's there, but it doesn't let me actually view it. I'll log in a little bit later and show you how that changes. If I click over to the Images tab, this is similar. In this case, though, I can actually choose to view the items, and I'll try and choose something that's not gruesome here. So I'll pick this X-ray. So when I choose that, it actually pulls up the X-ray in a light box here, and I've got pan and zoom in capabilities all built into this view. I could also, from here, go to choose to view a different search result. So I can actually browse through my image results here without leaving the search results page. So if I decide, well, that's not what I'm looking for, I could simply close that. I'm still on my search results, and I can then scroll down. And the video results are similar. They pull up in a light box. And so it's a very nice interface for actually browsing through this kind of image content. JHS, this is the Journal of Pain Surgery. So as I mentioned, this is coming from a third-party website. It's called, the platform's called Elsevier. It's very common in the medical industry to use this platform. And so what they've done is provide an extract of all their data, and they pass it to us, and then we index it, as you're seeing here. If I were to click through these results, actually I can't right now because, again, I'm not logged in. So we do have executed a single sign-on as part of everything that we're doing here, and if I was logged in, it would allow me to actually go over to the content on this other platform and be logged in and view it. So this kind of speaks to the sort of inherent nature of being an enterprise-ready platform where we can kind of go in and customize it specifically to the needs of this user. Or this organization. Not every organization needs a single sign-on or has a specific type of integration, but we've designed the platform so that we can do such things. If I were to go ahead and get logged in here, let's just show you how that changes. Okay, so let's see. I think we still, all right. So we still have our search result of risks. If I were to go back to the video tab, now instead of the lock, I can actually click on the result and actually start viewing this video right in context. And again, if I kind of watch a few minutes of this and decide that's not what I was looking for, I haven't left my search result. I don't have to hit the back button. I can just easily come down here and grab a different result there. The lock icon that used to be right here is replaced by this plus icon. So it says add to library. So the idea here is that I can actually save my content to, or I can save content in which I'm interested to my own personal collection or my own personal library. This is actually a PackFlash feature. So what we've done is that we've integrated this very tightly to PackFlash, and in fact, all of this content that you're viewing here has been entered into PackFlash, so that we've got it so that if the content's in PackFlash, we know very well how to index it and use the various features of PackFlash, such as authorship, categorization, and all the imagery and so on. We can pull that right out and use that within our search results. We can also index general page results of DNN, so we're fully DNN ready and DNN capable. We've also, let me demonstrate a sort of a spell check feature here. So if I can search for, I'm going to search correctly for carpal tunnel, and you'll see as I'm typing, I do have a type ed feature, very common these days, and I can just choose carpal tunnel there and get my results. but perhaps I don't spell it right. And I hit enter. We don't have any results for this misspelling, but we did actually recognize and say, oh, maybe you meant carpal tunnel and you misspelled it, so I can just click on that. So I think that's a good overview there. The last thing I'll point out is the fact that we can really customize the look and feel of this, as I discussed earlier. So in this case, we've got the textual results don't really have any imagery, and we're going for this very north and south vertical approach here. I'm going to jump over to another client. In this case, it's somewhat similar in terms of we've got filters on the left, although they've chosen to actually roll those filters up and kind of de-emphasize them. I can open them up simply by doing this. But we've got complete ability to customize this as they needed. And then the other thing to note is these filters that they have are actually hierarchical, so I can actually dig into the filters. That was a specific need that they had that most clients we found don't need that, but we were able to accommodate it. And then when I look over here in the results themselves, this first tab is our textual results, but they made a conscious decision that they wanted to make sure that every single result had an image, and so therefore they could actually have this sort of richer looking result page that shows all the imagery here. Beyond that, though, the image galleries and videos are similar to what you saw. They chose a slightly different or larger view of the resulting image there in the light box, so they've got that. They're pulling events as a separate tab, so this is all just customizable according to the client needs. And these folks have definitely had specific relevancy rules that were different from the Hand Society client that I showed you over here. So all of that is completely customizable. And just to show you yet one more example, here's a client that we did a search for. It's just another medical association client, and we did a search for dermatology. And in this case, we've got textual results here again in the first tab. But within that, we wanted to actually have slightly different formatting depending upon the type of result. So I searched for dermatology, and the very first result here shows a dermatology event. And what we're saying is if it's an event, have this particular event icon and actually show the event date over here in this particular format. And we're pulling the event start date here. Coming down here, there's a site page dedicated, and we're showing a different icon for that. And if I keep going, I've actually found staff listings specifically for dermatology, in which case we're pulling their contact information right up into the search results in a very easy to use way. So here's their email, here's their phone, and we're pulling their title in here. So I guess the key takeaway here from these three different views is, three different clients I should say, is we can really tailor the implementation to a specific client's needs, and there's nothing that we can't do. So it's designed to be extensible. It's designed to have an in-depth consultative effort where we determine exactly how your clients would want to use search, what your organizational needs are, and then we respond to those.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much for the demos. I'm really interested to see the same product being used in slightly different ways, actually in quite a variety of different ways there. So I assume that those clients, they have deeper relationship with you guys. I have a question that would apply more to the PackFlash, I would say, audience here, which is if someone from the PackFlash audience needs help or needs support, how do you guys prefer to be contacted? That's usually a question that I ask people, you know.
So the best thing to do is on our website we do have a support email address that we ask people to respond to. We'll also take a phone call. The phone message, our phone number is listed on the site. We do ask that you start with the email. The nice thing about the email is it actually automatically creates a ticket in our system and allows us to best manage that so that we can make sure that any results, any queries that come through we don't get lost, and that we can make sure that we're following up and take action on them.
Okay. That's great. That's great to know. Let's talk a little bit about the future here, because again, it seems that you guys are really deeply involved with search, and from a higher level, from a corporate level, from very very particular, type of usage. So what's next for you guys, for your organization? What's new and exciting that you guys are working on?
Okay, all right. What we're working on, we have big plans to continually enhance search. So that's a huge initiative of ours. And what we're trying to do is to provide even more, I'd say, fine-tuning and administrative capabilities within the module itself. So yeah, I mentioned that obviously there's a DNN module in place that displays the results from any search, but there's a whole ton of business logic that resides sort of outside of the module in the indexing system. And we're trying to push a lot of the settings into the module itself so that administrators can potentially tweak more of the search results on their own. And then we're trying to make our process of implementation more efficient by improving our templating capability, and also just adding features from the ability to sort of manage, make it easier to pull content from other sources. So for instance, we're working on an implementation right now with the hotcakes module, which is a commerce module for the DNN platform. And so now we've actually created a specific hotcakes data collector. So if we get another client coming along that says, hey, we'd like to use your search within a site that uses hotcakes, we've got that data collector all ready to go. So search is a huge focus of ours going forward. Another huge push of ours organizationally at BlueBolt is to develop a web security practice. So we've found that a number of clients have come to us, new clients I should say, have come to us and specifically asked us to perform security audits or application audits. And sometimes it's specific to say, I'm worried that my website may have been compromised or is not as secure as it should be. Sometimes that's as a result of not performing upgrades, whether it's for DNN or some other platform. And in other cases, it's a little broader, saying, I've had a custom web application developed, and we're a little nervous that it wasn't developed in a way that's maintainable going forward and isn't performant, and yeah, we're also worried that perhaps they didn't follow the best security practices. So we're able to go in and perform audits and so on. And then we've had the more extreme cases where folks come in and say, my website's been hacked. It's a DNN site. I see you're a DNN Gold Partner. Can you help me? So we've had those situations come up in the past, and so we're more actively trying to cultivate security expertise within our organization, and then to make sure that the community within DNN especially knows that if you do have security concerns, we're a place you can turn to for that.
Perfect. Okay. So next question here really ties up to some of the things that you have mentioned, but I still want to ask that which technological changes and technological advancements you have been seeing lately, new trends that you see, hey, we should be ready for that, and this is coming, and again, we need to be ready for that. Do you have any example of something like that?
Well, I guess thinking specifically about security, there's, I guess a couple of trends there that why we're thinking that this is becoming more and more important. If you look at any of the reports coming from companies like McAfee or Symantec, et cetera, these folks all produce threat reports on a quarterly basis. And the trend there is that mid-sized businesses are a huge target. The folks that are out there and have the hacking community sees these as very soft targets that still have a very juicy result there. There's customer data that can be gleaned, and there's also corporate secrets that can be gleaned by attacking these targets. So what we're seeing is our typical client set are these mid-sized organizations and they're not prepared. And so that's a trend we're seeing, is that they're more and more becoming a target. And we're also seeing that the government is taking a closer look at this. The FTC recently sued Wyndham Hotels and won in court, basically saying that they now have the right, the capability of going after organizations specifically as a result of lax security practices. So this is just, I guess that's what's on top of our mind. I don't have any specific, if you were asking more of a low-level programming friend, I'm probably the wrong guy to talk to.
That's great. That's okay. That's the type of answer that I was looking for. So, Jason, we are coming to a conclusion here. I just want to ask if there is anything that we haven't touched that you'd like to touch, anything that I've missed asking.
No, I think you talked about exactly what I had thought, and I don't have anything else I want to sound off on. So thank you.
Okay, so again, if you have any closing words, anything else to add?
Okay, well, I'll just add, we've been active in the DNN. BlueBolt has been active in the DNN community for 10 years now. We kind of have a couple of different faces, wear a couple of different hats: BlueBolt, PackFlash, and now Bravo. We hope that doesn't confuse folks. We've had our reasons for doing it. But we're well known, and we know everybody in this community, and so we like to be very friendly. If you ever have any questions regarding how DNN can be best used, if it's suitable for a particular purpose, or if certain things can be accomplished, where our phone number is published on all our websites, and we're always open to having a conversation, and we like to tell folks that we can solve hard problems. We've got a staff of 20 developers here, or I should say 20 folks, that all have expertise in DNN. 75% of that 15 folks really are DNN developers. So we've got a lot of capability and a lot of history. So we'd love to talk to you if you've got a DNN website and want some help. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for for having my partner in crime there with your team.
Absolutely. When are you going to come see us in Chicago, Anderson?
I should. We're not that far. No.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you.
Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate your help here, okay?
Absolutely. Have a good one.